Hey everybody, this is Annette. I just wanted to do a quick video before, or just added to the initial video. I had a couple people ask about my signs, my Lularoe signs, and this is not vinyl. It's actually painted on, but it's painted on by a stencil that I cut. And so I decided that I'm going to go ahead and put this in my Etsy shop. So if you're a consultant or you might be a consultant, and I'll have the link down in the description, but go ahead and click on that link. It'll take you to my Etsy page, or my Etsy shop, and you can order. I'll probably have 4 or 5 different sizes. This is a really big size. I'd have to get the exact measurements, but it's a stencil, and you can do a custom one where you put, and this is the lettering for Lularoe. I forgot the name of the font, but this is the font that Simply Comfortable is the same exact font. So you can either do your name or Simply Comfortable or whatever it may be. So but you would have to have your own wood and your own paint. So it just comes with kind of like wall vinyl, but it's a stencil. So you would paint in. I do have a tutorial on how to make these signs. So if you do order from me, I will link you to that tutorial. It explains, and I'll actually probably make another tutorial making maybe a smaller Lularoe sign. So yeah, go to that link and you can order them there and I'll ship them to you. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Okay, I'll see you guys. Bye. Hey everybody, it's Annette with Lularoe. I will put all my information down in the description below. But if you want to join my page, or my group, it's Lularoe Me with Annette Scroggins. So, but the group link will be down. I am doing a year giveaway, so go and add all your Lularoe friends, and yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of giveaways and actually 2-year giveaways. So once we hit certain marks. But joining me today is the one and only husband. This is Obi Scroggins. He is my husband, like I just said. And I actually just had the husband question today. And I just thought it'd be a good idea to kind of make a short video of maybe just some questions that some of you might be having about the business that you may not be able to answer, or you may be able to answer to your husband, but they might, your husband's like, well, I want to hear it from someone other than you, who of course is, the one kind of selling this to me and yada, yada, yada. So I know it's nice to hear it from other people and other husbands. I actually, as some of you know, I have a sign business, and it's very successful. And, it was something that I initially had to actually invest a lot of money into, and it was scary. I mean, I think that was the business that my husband really questioned a lot, like, wow, we're going to put this much money into this business. And it's something that I created myself, but all the tools and the supplies, it cost a lot of money. So, but I knew in my gut that it would be a successful thing, and it ended up being a successful thing. And Lularoe for me was the same exact thing. It was just something, I had a gut feeling that personally, I love the clothes, and I'd been around retail so much. So I knew there was something special with this company. And then as I got to research it more, it ended up not being too good to be true. It is what it is. And the biggest thing is just how much work you kind of put into it, on how successful you want to be. But so, Obi, I guess the biggest question that I know a lot of people have is, what is one thing that you were hesitant about when I came to you and said, hey, I'm going to have to, you know, spend between 48 and possibly $7,000 on clothes. How did you feel about that?
I think that, first of all, I'm not into the fashion thing. I'm not, so I didn't really know much about Lularoe, and, so I wasn't familiar with the company. I was more focused on, other things, my job and my work and the profession that I do. And so, it was just kind of not knowing about the product and the company, and to put that much money into something that, you don't really know about. But, she's done all the research and stuff on. She knows about all the product. She's been, looking at stuff on the computer while I've been doing, other things and stuff. So I wasn't too familiar with it. And so, that was the thing that probably, took me back. You presented me something with like, hey, this is what I want to do. This is how much money it is. And I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
what is this?
Like, it's kind of like, what are you talking about? Because, I mean, it's a lot of money. It's a business. I mean, you are investing in product, and, if you were to start any other business, you actually would spend a lot more, especially if you go brick and mortar. I mean, that's totally different level. But yeah, I mean, this isn't just like a direct sale, your typical $100, which, is really good. But then of course you do have to be able to spend that money, and not be okay with it. I mean, you do your research, make sure you know what you're getting into. But let me tell you, it is, just from a business point of view, it really is set up for you not to fail. The only thing that's going to stop you is how much work you put into it. That's the hardest thing. And that's with any business. That's with anything. But the great thing is the product really, really does sell itself. So when was that moment that you were really like, oh yeah, like you should do this? Because I think I almost still am like holding my breath, just because, it is a big chunk of money, and it is on my shoulders to make sure that, we recuperate what we put in, and, and all that stuff. And that's okay to feel that way. You should feel that way. Actually, the more you feel that way, the more successful you're going to be, because that feeling is going to drive you to do what you need to do. I mean, really. And even if you don't have that feeling, because I think if this was the first real business that I tried to do, I think I'd be I don't know if I'd even do it, because I have that much, like, there's, that's a lot of pressure. But try to really push through that. Really, push through that. But what was that moment where you were like, yeah, I think this is something that, we both need to do? Because honestly, even if I do 100% of the work, the support of him, I mean, even he supports me, and sometimes I'm like, no, like, you're not doing it right, or, whatever it may be. I mean, he truly is like, Annette, like, no, you got this. You're going to do good. So it really has made a difference, him being so positive and supportive, and asking questions, and wanting an answer that can be answered, if that makes sense. Because, like I said, just the support from your tribe or your people really make a difference. And I'm really saying that to the husbands, because just on the outside, or as a wife, just his support has truly just made it where I am crying, or whatever, don't know if I'm doing the right thing. Although in my gut, I know that, it just has made a big difference. But what was that moment?
I think the moment, you got my attention with how much money it was going to cost, and so, I, instead of just being like, oh yeah, hey, just, give it to you and run with it, I was definitely, I became interested in, the company Lularoe. I kind of at first thought it was going to be another, direct sale type thing,
Mm-hmm.
like, what are you kind of getting yourself into? Is this like another, like, what is this another, Mary Kay type thing or something like
Mm-hmm.
that, Scentsy or whatever
And I've never
the
done any direct sales, so
yeah.
just yeah, he's not. Yeah,
So I wasn't for sure like it was something like that, So you started, we started looking at some of this stuff together, started kind of, you were showing me the stuff involving me and some of your research and stuff into the company. And so as I started to see how the company operated and just kind of, it really kind of, I really saw that they, definitely set themselves apart from a lot of, other companies and stuff and how they operate. So that was a plus for me, and I just then you have friends and stuff that sell it, so you've started to wear the product and stuff and just being able to see the product and how it feels, and it's something I've never felt before, and something that I've never, definitely their product does separate themselves from a lot of other clothing lines and stuff that I've seen. They do have, patterns and stuff that I think is very fashionable and stuff right now. It's, you see people that wear, leggings, I guess, is their biggest thing right now that, people wear. They have a lot of other things, but I think that's what, kind of what started the company and stuff was the leggings. But, people, usually just wear black leggings. It's nothing, it's just kind of, so I think a lot of the patterns and stuff that they have. But, so as I became more familiar with it and, just how they ran their business and some of the benefits and stuff that you can get from that and just I do have a lot of the confidence and stuff with you,
right.
so
Yeah,
I obviously wasn't
yeah.
a problem, but
And I think like I know specifically, I've bought a lot, especially my husband's in the military. So, we do a lot of balls and functions and Helen farewells and all that stuff. And, I usually buy an outfit for each, thing that we do. Um, and I think I bought a dress and I remember putting it on and I think it was probably like the second or third. We've been married 12 years now. And I think it was like the second or third time that he literally stopped and was like, "Where'd you get that dress from?" I mean, he was legitimately like, "Wow, you look really good," and I mean, it's probably been more than two or three times. That kind of sounds bad. But I mean, I saw the difference in how he reacted. So, I think although he might not kind of like equate that with this whole thing, but to me, that was something that I guess really meant a lot to me. I guess that was my another like, wow, like this is something different. But I think that, just with my upline and all the information she's given me and, just the research, like he said, and the numbers, I think, and maybe, of course, if we're talking about football or something, it might be a little more intricate to men. But when we're talking about fashion, kind of everything he said kind of did come from, or, I mean, he's really been, like I said, very supportive and really wants to know, like, what the leggings are, like, what all that is. And so I'm super lucky with that. But really, initially, it is the numbers. I mean, it is like, you know, because we've joked many times that, we live in a direct sale world. I mean, it's almost like overwhelming with how many people sell stuff, which is great. I think it's fantastic, but it's a world I've never really wanted to be in selling wise. And so I think that's another thing he even was like, just the camaraderie of kind of building everybody up, even if you're not on the same team or whatever. But the numbers just don't lie. And I haven't officially started, but like I said, my upline and just the research that, people have given me. I know one really good friend, we sat and we were talking, we were Skyping, and she was giving me numbers and she was like, Annette, I feel crazy saying these numbers. Like we're talking about thousands of dollars, like it's like dollars, and so it really, it really can work, and I think just involving him in those conversations and just him asking questions and I guess really looking at it with a foot in the door than out of the door, or the glass half full or empty, you know um and that's up to you personally, your husbands. I mean, that's something that, they've got to be willing to go about it that way. And ask those questions, and honestly be scared, or not be scared, but ask those questions. Keep that drive in you. Keep that, like, because it's tough. I mean, it is really a big investment. It really, really is. And, but always remember, especially when we're talking about big decisions, okay? I mean, think of like decisions that aren't equal to this, but think of like having a child, buying a house. What's the first thing you do? You kind of think of what's the worst that can happen, right? I think that's natural for us to do that, is to really think of what the worst, and that's being smart, right? I mean, that's being prepared for anything. But understand that fear can keep us from doing a lot of things too. Yeah. And and again, it is a personal preference. It is what works best for you. But then again, there are those moments where you just have to have faith. You have to just go out and, just know that there is something better than all this kind of negativity or these questions or these, and for me, just, you know, um, that was one thing that really I'm still having to push through. I'm going to be honest, even with all the knowledge I have, it's just, it's something that it's almost like I got to see it to believe it. As much as I trust my upline, I trust all my girlfriends that sell this, I trust, my gut, it's still natural to feel like, oh my gosh, I'm going to fail at this, or I'm going to, blah, 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 whatever it may be. So yeah, I mean, I just really wanted to do this video and just, have my husband kind of go through maybe just the feelings or questions that he had. Did you have any questions that initially you wanted to know when I first came and said, hey, here's this company, I want to like invest in it and yada, yada, yada? I mean, like, what was your initial like questions that you had?
Obviously, what we talked, the first one that come to, was the price. It was like,
Right.
okay, how much is this going to cost to start up? And, once we kind of got past that, I think just, the product and stuff, I know that we had talked about, you had showed me like, hey, you don't just order things, they send you and stuff. So I was kind of questioning that because, when you think of something that you're selling, you want to have control over your inventory and stuff that, you're
that's
picking.
That's funny, or that's interesting that's something. In.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, then we kind of talked about that and, then, kind of,
like that's the part that makes this company actually really awesome is, like with Sensi, you do not sell what Sally sells. You guys sell maybe a couple similar things, but you do not sell the same exact thing. So yeah, that's really good that you kind of brought that up. Yeah. I didn't even think, but that's why, your husband's or your spouse, or your significant other, if they have the questions, have them talk about it, have them ask them, and research, find out what it is, or, really find, your someone who you can sign under. It might not be your best friend who sells Lularoe. It might be someone else that you're like, yeah, like you have the questions I'm wondering about, I want to go with you or whatever. So sign up. That's another huge thing. Make sure you do your research about who you sign up under, because the minute you sign up under them, you cannot change that. It is, I think you used to be able to, sorry, I don't know if I said that right. I don't, used to could. No, you used to be able to change, but now you can't. So, so make sure you do that research and that you just find out, the things that you want to find out. And, have your husband casually talk to you about it, or sit down and have a piece of paper and say, hey, write down your biggest fears, and, and, I'll answer them, give me a day and I'll answer them, or whatever. Or, just do it together. Do it together. I really think that, business is something that, the more support you have, the better. And, and it just makes a big difference. So, but what else? Was there anything else that, you were, and it's hard because I haven't officially started. So I think we'll make another video once I've started, and just kind of, that way we can speak better on what reality is, but just from the get-go, because we're still in it. I mean, I haven't gotten my stuff. I mean, we're still like nervous and, like I said before, freaking out and yada, 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 So, but what else? I mean, is there any other questions that,
No, I mean, the thing that I've noticed too, though, is as you were going through this process, you this is something that you definitely wanted to do, and then that you've had your kind of moments where you didn't think, but just being able to kind of have somebody else that's not really involved in it, to kind of be that sounding board, I think is really kind of
the
helped
support.
you.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that's actually another really good, and kind of what I said. I mean, just the support that you can give your spouse or significant other or whatever that's doing this, just really makes the difference. It really does. And, even if you just have to have faith, I mean, and faith is just not knowing. I mean, it truly is what it is. Just not knowing what is going to be the outcome. And that's hard. That's hard when you're talking about money and taking, food off my table or whatever, whatever you can, say about it. But okay, my husband has to go, so I'm going to kind of finish up, but thanks, Big O.
All right.
But, but yeah, so I came across a lady today that, her husband is like, and I think she's just foreseeing what her husband's going to say. And, it's scary in the sense of you want to be able to give things that sound right and that are positive and, aren't just a line to make them happy or whatever. And let me tell you guys, this company is for real. It's legit. And it's hard because I know maybe a lot of you don't know me. Most of you probably won't know me. Your husbands won't know me. Whoever, you are just talking about won't know me. So, I'm not asking you to, like, I guess, trust me or take my word for it. Do your research. Go with your gut. And again, you are going to this is a big decision. And with big decisions, a lot of people tend to lean and try to find the negative. That's okay. That's natural. But as long as you can really see what this company is about, the more you keep that, like, trying to figure stuff out and all that stuff, the better you'll be. As long as you sign up and do it. It is, I mean, so far it has been really the best decision of, my life and in the sense of business wise. Just like my sign business. I mean, I'm so glad. I mean, it's tough, but I have said many times to my husband, I'm so glad I'm doing this. I'm so glad that I have done this and that, because it's really blessed my family a lot. And Lularoe's the same thing. I mean, I hear it all the time and, just make sure you surround yourself with good people and husbands, spouses, significant others, support. If you do one thing, support your family. And if you're thinking about signing up, email me, Lularoe, Annette Scroggins. I'll put a link at gmail.com. Email me. If you're interested, I can send you information. I can send you certain numbers. Again, I haven't officially started, but, sign up with me and, I will share every piece of information that I find, I research with you. I really am a big advocate of just team building and making sure that you're as successful as I am, because I know I'm going to be successful. I know I will, um, and it's fun. It's been fun. It's been a roller coaster. I've learned a lot. I mean, and as of right now, it's about a 10 to 12 week waiting period. So if you don't have the money now, even if you have half of it, even if you sign up for a credit card and you only get approved for 2,500 or 1,000, that's a starting point. Take that and plan out. Plan out like, hey, I'm going to save $100 a week or every 2 weeks, whatever it may be. I'm here and I'll help you. I'll help you plan it out. But yeah, you guys can do it. Don't let there's going to be a lot of up and downs. There really is, but have the eye of the tiger, as they say. Really focus on the positivity, and if a negativity thing comes up, address it, talk about it, figure it out. But that's it, guys. All right, go to my group, subscribe. I'm going to be doing quite a few more videos on a couple different things. But yeah, subscribe, like my group. I'm doing a huge actually 2-year giveaways. And add your friends. I am super excited. I hope you guys join my group and become a team member with me. So if you have any questions, email me and I will message you guys back. All right. I'll see you guys.